Welcome to the Stay In, and hopefully you can see me this evening. Please let me know that you can see me on what is hopefully Grand Slam Eve. I'm all kitted out here ready, as I would be if I were going to stadium, although we can't go to stadiums at the moment, can we? But here I am ready for another Stay In quiz. I'm just looking forward to a message coming through saying, yes, I can see you. There we go. Oh, it's still not a message. I've got my fingers crossed after last week's fiasco of you not being able to see me. So yes, hopefully you can see me at the moment. Yes, Danny can see me! You can tell I may be a little bit excited about tomorrow. Yes, I'm all kitted out, ready to go for this evening's quiz. A Six Nations edition. Oh, brilliant. Love the Six Nations when it comes around. A little bit of friendly rivalry between our nations, hey? All in good spirits. But yes, thank you once again for joining me here in the Stay In for our weekly virtual quiz. It's Six Nations edition. I'll go through the rounds in a moment, but let's start with our first question, as always. Who are you and what are you drinking? I can see lots of you are in the Stay In tonight. So Noswaith Dart, everyone back home in Wales. I can see Bob. Well, good evening, Bob, and the bookshop team. I presume the rest are joining you, Bob. It's just that your name is what I see. Good evening to Joe and Sally. Hi, Joe. I actually met Joe the other day. It's really nice when I bump into random people and they go, Matt, it's you from the quiz. So yes, it's nice to have met you, Joe. Who else have we got in? Vicky, I can see that you need a drink this week after the dreaded visit. So there you go. I hope it all went well and that you have survived. So I can see Ollie's on the red wine. Good evening, Ollie. Yeah, lots of you in, and yeah, drinking lots of things. Yes. Couple of things before we start. First of all, I've left my phone somewhere, so anyone who normally messages me through the quiz, you're not going to get a response even at half time this week. But Lisa, proper job for Lisa tonight. Hogs back tea. Good. Matt as well on the proper job. Now, I'm afraid to say I've had a complaint. I know, it's my first complaint. So I've got to talk to you about this before we begin the quiz. I've had a complaint. It's quite a serious one, actually. Apparently, I drink too much Cornish beer. So Tom and his family have bought me a bottle of Salcombe Brewery Pale Ale so that I can drink something from across the Tamar tonight. So thank you very much, Tom. Yes, apparently too much. Can you get too much Cornish beer? I don't know. But let me get started with that. Where have I put my bottle opener? Oh dear. There it is. It's underneath my flag. There you go. Yeah, so welcome all to the Stay In Six Nations quiz. So you've got your 4 rounds and a picture round as normal. So your first round will be the Six Nations. And these are your rugby questions at the start of the quiz. So hopefully you don't switch off by the end of the first round if you're not a rugby fanatic. For any rugby fanatics, I will do an extra time at the end if you want to stay around for a bonus round. And I'll talk about that a little bit later, because I know some of you may want to. Like we did with the Harry Potter, but with rugby. Then we go on to round number 2, which is our England and Wales geography round. So all the questions about geography in England and Wales. Round number 3 after the interval will be our Scottish and Irish entertainment round. And then round 4 will be our French and Italian food and drink round. So all linked to the nations who compete in the Six Nations. Just pouring a drink before anyone makes a comment. and then you've got your picture round, which some of you will have seen on our Facebook page, facebook.com/Scuizzes. I should have changed the colour from red tonight, shouldn't I? There you go. I've got 9 place names for you. Here they are. And I would like to know, in which of the 6 nations' countries would you find each of the signs? That's all I need to know. There is at least 1 from each of the 6 nations, and there are no more than 2 from any nation. So if you end up with 4 from France, I'm afraid you're wrong. And yes, I've tried to throw in a few curveballs in there. So yeah, can you name the country that these places are in? Quite a nice multiple choice for you. Just noticed my camera has slipped out of focus, isn't it? Still getting used to this on the camera. Hopefully I'll come back into focus in a minute. Anyway, so that is what we are doing tonight, rugby-wise and general quiz-wise. Yes, so I hope you are all ready for this evening. I could have worn this to school today, couldn't I? But I was saving it for the quiz for you. So, yes, let's get started, shall we, with round number 1, which is the rugby round. Please let me know when you are ready, and I will stop talking for a moment to enjoy some of this Devonshire beer. Very nice, thank you very much. I've got some more rugby themed beers lined up here. I've got to save some for tomorrow, haven't I? So yes, let me know when you're ready and we can begin our 6 nations round. There you go, Graham, you are always the first one ready. Followed swiftly by Danny, of course. Here we go. So we're ready for the 6 nations round. Here we go. Quite a what we got? We got a couple of multiple choices in here for you, so make it a little bit easier. Oh, red nose! I should have worn my red nose. Maybe after the break. Anyway, here we go. Round 1, question 1 for you. In which year did Italy join the 6 nations? So, in which year did Italy join the 6 nations? Was it 1998, 2000? Or 2002? In which year did Italy join the 6 nations? 98, 2000, or 2002? So glad you can all hear me this week. Drown my sorrows tomorrow. Well, I might have to. We'll see. We'll see. I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful. Question number 2. Which drinks company currently sponsors the 6 nations? So which drinks company currently sponsors the 6 nations? Question number 3 this evening for you, Scuizzes. Which trophy is contested annually when England play against Scotland? Which trophy is contested annually when England play against Scotland? Question 4 for you. Before being rebuilt and being renamed the Aviva Stadium, which ground hosted the Irish rugby team? Before being rebuilt and becoming the Aviva Stadium, which ground hosted the Irish rugby team? Question 5. Which member of the royal family is the current patron of the Rugby Football Union? So which member of the royal family is the current patron of the Rugby Football Union? Nearly had a revolt from the test teams about this question. Question number 6. When was the last time that Italy won a Six Nations game? So when was the last time that Italy won a Six Nations game? Was it in 2015, 2017 or 2019? When was the last time Italy won a Six Nations game? 2015, 2017 or 2019? Question number 7. Which technological innovation was first used during the 2001 tournament? So which technological innovation was first used in the 2001 tournament? Question number 8. Since the formation of the Six Nations, when Italy joined, England have won the title the most occasions. But which nation has won the most Grand Slams? So since the formation of the Six Nations, when Italy joined, England has won the championship the most times. But which nation has won the most Grand Slams? Question number 9. Which Six Nations ground is nicknamed the Cabbage Patch? So which Six Nations ground is nicknamed the Cabbage Patch? And your final question in the Six Nations round. Wales play their home games at the Principality Stadium. What was the stadium originally known as before the Principality Building Society sponsored it? So Wales play their home games at the Principality Stadium. What was the original name of the stadium before the Principality Building Society sponsored it? And those are your rugby questions for the evening. So hopefully you have survived those rugby questions. I know that some of you were not looking forward to the rugby questions. As always, when we've got a theme, I try to make it as friendly as possible. And will hopefully not put you off too much. Yeah, we have got a theme for next week, which I'll talk about later on. Had a few of you requesting this, so we put it together. I've put it together. It'll go to the test teams who will then help. But yes, looking forward to next week. In a moment, I'll move on to round 2, which was your England and Wales geography round. Finishing off that Devon beer. It was difficult, Danny, but you always have the most fun, so you could be a chance of winning this evening, because the winner at the Stain is whoever has the most fun. I really need to get round to doing that bingo card where you can have a drink every time I mention certain phrases. Yeah, so if you're interested, I'm moving on to rugby beer now. Gatland's Law, brewery in Tenby called Harbour Brewery. New Zealand IPA. Should be called Pivac's Law, shouldn't it now? But there you go. Let's move on to round number 2 before I get carried away talking about rugby. So this is your England and Wales geography round. So all of these questions relate to England and Wales places. But I don't necessarily tell you whether they are in England or Wales. So it should become clear as we go through. So round 2, question number 1 for you. Which body of water separates South Wales from Devon and Cornwall? Which body of water separates South Wales from Devon and Cornwall? It should be your round, Katie. Because you are our illustrious geography leader. It is some good Welsh beer. I'm just going to pour it before you think I'm going to the toilet. I'm going to finish off my Gatland's Law tonight, and then I've got the Sheriff and North Star left for tomorrow, as soon as they are actually playing. Question number 2. The TV series Casualty is filmed where? The TV series Casualty is filmed where? Question number 3. Where would you find Britain's smallest city? So where would you find Britain's smallest city? Well, I should say, what is Britain's smallest city? Shouldn't I? Because I'm after the name of the city. Cheers. Question 4. Where was Britain's first national park? Where was Britain's first national park? Question number 5. Where would you find the headquarters of Lee and Perrins? Where would you find the headquarters of Lee and Perrins? And question number 6 for you. There's another headquarters one here. Where is the headquarters of GCHQ? Where is the headquarters of GCHQ? Question 7. What is the longest river in England and Wales? So what is the longest river in England and Wales? And here comes your bonus point to take you up to 50 for the evening. Your bonus point, what is the longest river solely in England? Question 7, the longest river in England and Wales. And for your bonus point, the longest river solely in England. Question number 8. In which city would you find the National Railway Museum? In which city would you find the National Railway Museum? Question 9. What is the tallest mountain in England and Wales? What is the tallest mountain in England and Wales? And then your final question in the England and Wales geography round this evening. In which city are the headquarters of the DVLA? In which city are the headquarters of the DVLA? There you go. That brings to an end the first 2 rounds of the evening. Yeah, as usual, thank you very much to my test team who cast their eye over the quiz and make sure it's all right. No, I don't go off on a tangent too much or make it too hard or too easy. So thank you very much then for giving it their time and not being able to join in the quiz properly and helping me out in the process. So thank you very much. We will take our regular interval right now. So we'll have 5-10 minutes or so for you to do your usual things. This is where the bingo card would come in handy, isn't it? For you to go to the bar, chat up the barmaid, get your drink, get a bar snack, use the facilities if you want any of that, and finalise your answers for those first 2 rounds, because when I'm back I'll do those answers for you. In the meantime, I will put up those place names, and just to remind you that I am looking for each one, the country which you would find that place in. And there's at least 1 from each nation in the 6 nations, but no more than 2 per nation. So I hope you've enjoyed the first part of the quiz. Like I said, I'll be back in 5 to 10 minutes with the answers to rounds 1 and 2, and then we'll move on with the rest of the quiz. So thank you very much again for joining me, and I shall see you in a few minutes, Scuizzes. Bye for now. Okay, I'm back from the bar. So yes, hopefully you're doing well. I can see we'll start a chat about the bar snacks available at the moment. I've just been having some banana chips myself, but I can see Danny is on the posh biscuits there, and Graham is trying to forget round one by drinking some Glenmorangie. Oh, I could do with some of that. Maybe I'll slip some in my rugby hip flask for the second round, or for the answers, because I haven't done it yet. So hopefully you've heard my voice and you are now back ready for your answers. So let's go through the answers to round one, which was the Six Nations round, and then round two, your England and Wales geography round. So you can see how we are going with those rounds. Yeah, interesting comments. So there we go. Right. Round one, question one. Italy joined the Six Nations in the year 2000. Question two. Guinness sponsor the Six Nations currently. Question three. When England play Scotland, they're competing for the Calcutta Cup. Question four. It is Lansdowne Road, or was Lansdowne Road, where Ireland played their home games. Question five. The current patron of the Rugby Football Union is the Queen. It was Prince Harry until a few weeks ago, and it has reverted back to the Queen. Yes, the test teams tried to pull me off on that, but no, it's been all over the news, hasn't it? It's lost all his patronages. Anyway, question six. The last time that Italy won a Six Nations game was all the way back in 2015. Question number seven. The technological innovation introduced in 2001 was the television match official, or video referee, whatever you would like to call it. Question eight. Since the formation of the Six Nations, it is Wales who have won the most Grand Slams. They have won 4, France 3, England 2, and Ireland 1, if I remember correctly. Number 9, the Cabbage Patch, that is Twickenham. And question 10, the Principality Stadium was originally known as the Millennium Stadium. So those are your Six Nations answers. I wonder how well you've done with those. And then we moved on to our England and Wales geography round. So question one, it is the Bristol Channel, which separates South Wales from Devon and Cornwall. Question two, Casualty is filmed in Cardiff. 3, Britain's smallest city is St David's. 4, Britain's first national park was the Peak District. 5, Lee and Perrins, you'd find their headquarters in Worcester. 6, GCHQ's headquarters are not that far away from Worcester, in Cheltenham. Question 7. The longest river in England and Wales is the Severn. And your bonus point, the longest river solely in England is the Thames. If anyone is interested, the longest river solely in Wales is the Towy. Question 8. The National Railway Museum is in York. 9. The tallest mountain in England and Wales is Snowdon. And the headquarters of the DVLA are in Swansea. So I haven't seen your name flash up, but Kim and Tasha, if you're playing, well, Kim especially, there's a question coming up especially for you later, or worded especially for you. So let me know if you are in, Kim and Tasha. So how have you done on those first 2 rounds? I can see that Roger has got 4 in the rugby round, which is not that bad. Not that bad if you're not a rugby man, or a rugby family, because I know it's not just you by yourself. It is really strange just having the one name coming up when I know there's a team there somewhere. I lose track of who's on whose team. One day we will be back together in a pub somewhere, and I am working on that for you, Scuizzes. So hopefully we'll be able to get back together and we'll have a Scuizzes meet-up at some point, which would be great. So, wow. Yes, lots of scores coming. 18-16. Danny is shocked herself. Kim is in the building. Yes, there we go. There you go. Graham's got 5 in the first round. There you go. Not bad, Graham. We've got Steve is on a 20. Well done. Excellent score there. Well done. There you go. Oh, we've got 16, 17. Mum and Dad are on 19. Brilliant. 8 for Kate. Oh dear. Oh dear. Geography not your strong point then. Oh dear. Or rugby. Maybe you got all of those in the geography. I don't know. And the bookshop team are on 18. Brilliant scores coming in. So, shall we move on to our Scottish and Irish entertainment round? Okay, so what I've done here is the first 5 questions are based on Scottish entertainment, and then the second 5 questions are on Irish entertainment. So there's things like music, TV, films, there's some books in there. Yes, so first 5 questions for you are on Scottish entertainment. So question 1 in Scottish entertainment here. Which Scottish actor starred as Obi-Wan Kenobi in episodes 1, 2 and 3 of the Star Wars franchise? So which Scottish actor starred as Obi-Wan Kenobi in episodes 1, 2 and 3 of the Star Wars franchise? Question 2. Which band spent 15 weeks at number 1 in 1994 with a cover of the song Love Is All Around? So which band spent 15 weeks at number 1 in 1994 with a cover of the song Love Is All Around? Question number 3. Which Scottish author is known for works including Filth, Porno and Trainspotting? Which Scottish author is known for works including Filth, Porno and Trainspotting? Question 4. Apparently, Kim, this one is for you. I'd written it and then got told it's for you. Which gritty detective show followed detectives at Maryhill CID as they tried to solve a murder? So which gritty detective show followed detectives at Maryhill CID as they tried to solve a murder? And I have to say it like that for you, Kim, apparently. And question number 5. Joe McFadden is the only Scot to have won what? So Joe McFadden is the only Scot to have won what? Yes, Graham, in the kitchen. Yes. I can't do it as well as you, Kim, I'm afraid. So those are your 5 Scottish entertainment questions. So then we'll move on to 5 Irish entertainment questions for you. So question number 6. Which Irish band had hits with Rat Trap and I Don't Like Mondays? Which Irish band had hits with Rat Trap and I Don't Like Mondays? Focusing went weird again then, didn't it? Autofocus just keeps going in and out, doesn't it? Number 5 again, please. Yes, Katie. Joe McFadden is the only Scot to have won what? So it's in 2017 that he won this. So in 2017, Joe McFadden became the only Scot to have won what? And where were we up to? We've just done that one. So question 7. On which island did Father Ted reside? On which island did Father Ted reside? I just never, ever get bored of that programme. I'll probably end up watching it tonight after this quiz now that I've mentioned it. Question 8. Which dance group made their debut as the interval act in the 1994 Eurovision Song Contest? Which dance group made their debut as the interval act in the 1994 Eurovision Song Contest? Question 9. Which Irish novelist won the Booker Prize in 1993 for his novel Paddy Clark, Ha Ha Ha? Which Irish novelist won the Booker Prize in 1993 for his novel Paddy Clark, Ha Ha Ha? And then finally in this round, which fruity sounding band had hits with Linger and Zombie? Which fruity sounding band had hits with Linger and Zombie? And I have definitely been singing Zombie in my head ever since I wrote that question. Okay, so we'll be moving on soon to our French and Italian food and drink round. So I'll just give you a moment to finalise those questions, and then we will move on with this round. I'll just make a note of where we've got to. There we go. So our fourth round this evening is all about French and Italian food and drink. So I say French and Italian, but the first 5 questions are the Italian ones. So I should say it's about Italian and French food and drink. Seems that they are the 5th and 6th nations. So we'll start with 5 questions about Italian food and drink. So question 1 for you at round number 4. Gnocchi are small dumplings made of pasta and what other main ingredient? So gnocchi are small dumplings made of pasta and what other main ingredient? Ooh, Katie, question 8, of course. Question 8, which dance group made their debut as the interval act in the 1994 Eurovision Song Contest? And question number 2. What is the main flavour of the Italian dessert tartufo? I always embarrass myself with my foreign pronunciation, don't I? But what is the main flavour of the Italian dessert tartufo? Tartufo. Tartufo? I won't try and put it in an Italian accent. Question 3. What ingredient would you find in a dish described as Florentine or Florentine? So what ingredient would you find in a dish described as Florentine? Florentine. I'm just mixing up my pronunciation on that now, aren't I? Pause for another beer, I believe. Okay, question 4 on your Italian food and drink. So I'm going to give you 4 ingredients, and I'd like you to tell me what am I making. So what am I making with pine nuts, basil, garlic and olive oil? What would I be making with pine nuts, basil, garlic and olive oil? Okay, that's the last of my Gatlin's Lord done. notice I haven't drunk any Cornish beer tonight. It's all been from Devon or Wales tonight. I was just looking in the cupboard. I would have run out of beer by next week, so I need to get some more in by next week. And question 5. What is the best-selling beer in Italy? What is the best-selling beer in Italy? Cheers. Number 2 again for Colin. Of course, Colin. What is the main flavour of the Italian dessert tartufo? Tartufo? Tartufo. Okay, so your next 5 questions are all about French cuisine. We've done Italian, let's go on to French. Okay, so question number 6 for you. In French cuisine, what name is given to a ham and cheese sandwich dipped in egg and deep fried? In French cuisine, what name is given to a ham and cheese sandwich dipped in egg and deep fried? Question number 7. What is the main ingredient of a souffle? What is the main ingredient of a souffle? That's a pleasure, Colin. Question 8. Which of these cheeses is not French? Reblochon, Emmental, Camembert. Which of these cheeses is not French? Reblochon, Emmental, Camembert. Reminded me of something, actually seeing your name up there, Colin. I had a very strange dream the other night, and lots of you Scuizzes appeared in it. Even though I don't know some of you, it was very, very weird. It's all going to my head, these Scuizzes are. Question number 9. What is the traditional fish stew which originates from Marseille? What is the traditional fish stew which originates from Marseille? Do you know what? It was a bit of a nightmare. It's one of those where you get really emotional in it, and I woke up, yeah, feeling actually physically sad. It was weird. Anyway, less about my dreams. And question 10, your final question of the evening here. What type of wine is Barsac? What type of wine is Barsac? B-A-R-S-A-C. Barsac. Extra point for spelling correctly. You know what? Oh, it is a tricky word to spell. Since you're apologising to Mum, is this something that's appeared in the Pantone quiz at some point? But there you go. That is the end of our food and drink round there. Sorry, it's one of those weeks where I'm falling asleep. I know I can see myself looking incredibly tired in the camera. But yes, so those are our questions for this evening. So as usual, we'll have a quick break and then come back and do all the answers to the picture round and then rounds 3 and 4. Just while I'm thinking about it, next week, so I was talking about getting beer in and I mentioned it. Well, next week we are going to the movies. So next week is the stay-in night at the movies. So our next quiz will all be movie themed in some way, shape or form. So we're moving from rugby to movies. Go all over the place and stay in. But night at the movies next week. So make sure you've got your popcorn in and you can sit down and watch the entertainment here at the stay in. So that may be up some of your streets. There you go. Oh, what was the last question? Yes, Kai. What type of wine is Barsac? What type of wine is Barsac? B-A-R-S-A-C. So I hope you can join me at the stay-in for the next week for the night at the movies. A little bit of a different theme. And if you want to dress up as a movie character and send in your pictures, please do. We haven't done a dress up for a while. So yes, if you want to dress up as a movie character and send it in, please do. I'm not quite sure what I'm going to dress up as yet, but I will dress up in something or other. Yes, finally a movie quiz, Danny. Yes, I think you were the one who requested it. But yeah, movie quiz next week. Brilliant. Right. So I'll just put up the pictures for a couple of minutes so you can finalise your answers. And then I'll be back with the answers to all of these questions. Thank you very much. And I'll speak to you again in a few minutes, Scuizzes. Bye for now. Okay, that was my very quick visit to the stay-in bar there. So I am back. I can see that you're discussing possibly going to the movies next week to avoid the movies quiz. And as is rightly been pointed out, it is very expensive to go to the movies at the moment, and also impossible, which is why, of course, the stay-in is open. But as lockdown eases, we will be able to do things, won't we, at some point, like go to the cinema, and more importantly, go to the pub. So 12th of April, isn't it? We may be able to go to the pub outdoors, which would be brilliant. But yes, I'll talk about pubs in a moment, but hopefully you have heard my voice and I'm back ready to answer rounds 3 and 4 and the pictures here. So your pictures this evening, I found 9 place names from the 6 nations that compete in the 6 nations, and all you had to do was name the country. Sorry, just seen your message. I'll respond to that in a minute, Joe. Just name the country that they came from. Here we go with the countries. Here are your answers to where they all were. Okay, so number 1 was in Scotland. I've forgotten how you Chatteralt. I think you pronounce it. It's in Scotland. Number 2, Milltown Malbay is in Ireland. I just love it. It sounds so much like Melton Mowbray. Belvedere is in Italy. Pensax is in England. Beaumaris is in Wales, close to where I grew up, of course. 6, Fruki is in Scotland. 7, Trecon is in France. 8, Glengariff is in Ireland. And 9, Double Boys, of course, is just down the road in England here. So it's only a few miles away from St. Clear, isn't it? So yes, I hope you get all of those right. Test teams got very detective-y, looking at the style of the signs and trying to work out whether they're foreign signs or not. But there you go. Scotland, Ireland, Italy, England, Wales, Scotland, France, Ireland and England. There you go. Let me take those away so you can see my ugly mug in my rugby kit. No, Joe, don't worry about being a stalker. No, I love it when people come up to me and just say, hello, you're Matt from the Scuizzes. Yeah, it gives me a little bit of a buzz. I know that so many of you live so far away that I don't get to see you, but yeah, sometime kind of over the summer sometime, not in term time, I am planning to do a Scuizzes get-together around here somewhere, so that if you want to come down, and I'll give you months of notice, I'm working on it at the moment, you can come down and we'll have an actual quiz in an actual pub, as well as a few other bits and bobs. But yes, I am squirreling away on that, but it's very hard to tie anything down with restrictions at the moment. My flag's just fallen off. So yeah, it'll be great to meet you, and anyone who lives locally, I should be doing quizzes again at some point, again when restrictions allow. But there you go. It is nice to see you when I see you. And so you completely took me by surprise, Joe, which is why I was a bit confused. That is why. But anyway, let's do some answers, shall we, to round 3 and 4. So round 3 was your Scottish and Irish entertainment round. Question number 1, the actor who starred as Obi-Wan Kenobi was Ewan McGregor. Question 2, it was Wet 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 who had a hit with Love Is All Around. Question 3, Filth, Porno and Trainspotting were all written by Irvine Welsh. Question 4, the detective show at Maryhill CID with a murder was Taggart. And question 5, Joe McFadden was the only Scot to have won Strictly Come Dancing. Then we moved over to the Irish entertainment. So question 6, the band who had hits with Rat Trap and I Don't Like Mondays was the Boomtown Rats. Question 7, Father Ted lived on Craggy Island. 8, the dance group who made their debut in as the interval act in the Eurovision Song Contest was Riverdance. 9, the novelist who won the Booker Prize for Paddy Clark, Ha Ha Ha, with Roddy Doyle. And number 10, the fruity sounding band who had hits with Linger and Zombie was the Cranberries. And then we moved on to the Italian and French food and drink round. So question 1, gnocchi, it's made of pasta and potato. 2, tartufo, the main flavour is chocolate. 3, if something is described as Florentine, it has got spinach in it. 4, if I've got pine nuts, basil, garlic and olive oil, well, I'm making pesto. Question 5, the best-selling beer in Italy is Nastro Azzurro, or more commonly known here as Peroni. So if you've got Nastro Azzurro or Peroni, you can have a point there. And then we moved on to French cuisine. So the ham and cheese sandwich dipped in egg and deep fried is a croque monsieur. Question 7, the main ingredient of a soufflé is egg whites. Question 8, Emmental is not a French cheese. Reblochon and Camembert are. Question 9, the fish stew originating from Marseille is bouillabaisse. Bouillabaisse. Oh, I'm going to embarrass myself with the pronunciation again. And question 10, Barsac, that is a sweet white wine. So Barsac is a sweet white wine. Okay, so there you go. Those are all your questions. You've had 50 points this evening, split between rugby, geography, place names, entertainment and food and drink. So how have you done? As I mentioned earlier, I have got a bonus round all about 6 nations, or 5 nations as it was previously known, or the home nations before even that. So as with the Harry Potter round, I'll do that straight after the quiz. I'll stop this stream and a new one will go live. I'll post the details on the Facebook page. And if you subscribe to the YouTube channel, it should come up as being live for you as well. So if you'd like to join in the bonus round about the 6 nations, just hang around for that. It will start quite quickly afterwards, 3 minutes or so afterwards. And some of you hopefully will join us. So here we go, we've got scores coming in already, 43, 45, 33, 39, some good scores coming in. Kai's on 42 there. What have we got, 39 in Somerset, we've got a tie between Malcolm and Graham, there we go. Only 32 for Roger, but are you having fun? Steve in there with 47, great score, well done. Although it's not about the, it's not about the score, it's about who has much fun. So there you go. If you're not happy with your score, have you had fun? That is the main thing. So we've got lots of, we've got 32s, 30s and so on coming in. But I always have a tiebreaker up my sleeve, don't I? Just in case you're playing along. And it is the chance it is the chance for you, sorry, I've got a frog in my throat. It's a chance for you to play against the team members that you've been playing alongside all evening if you want. So here is a question, and let's see who gets the closest. So, in 2001, England scored more points in a single Six Nations season than any other nation. So, how many points did England score in the 2001 Six Nations Championship? How many points did England score in the 2001 Six Nations Championship? And that is a record which has not been beaten yet. I've just dropped my questions as well. So I see lots of good scores still coming in. 41 for the Bookshop team there, and for Mum and Dad. Oh, I wonder who'll get closer. The Bookshop team and Mum and Dad. 44 for Jackie there. Claire's on 38, but did have fun. Well, that's all I want is that you just come along and have a bit of fun on a Friday evening. That's all that I want. It really is. It makes the effort worthwhile. Do you know what? And if there were only a couple of teams, I'd still be doing this at the moment. But I was talking about pubs. Pubs will be opening soon, so please, when they do open, they do need your support. I haven't said this for a while because I've not needed to, but they do need your support when they open. So just go along and go to a beer garden when the weather's nice, and if you don't like beer, have a coffee, have a J2O, have a Coke, something. But yeah, they have really been hit hard, and speaking to landlords, so many of them are on the point of quitting. So it's kind of a use it or lose it situation. So hopefully we get a good season out of it over the summer. That's my little tuppence for the evening anyway. But lots of scores coming in here for your guesses, ranging from, we've got 150 there, all the way up to Katie's on 212 at the moment. So yeah, in the 2001 season, England scored a record of 229 points. So over the 5 games, they scored 229 points, which is, an absolute incredible achievement. Over 5 games, they're averaging, 45 points a game there, which is incredible. Helped that they put about 80 on Italy that season. But yeah, so there you go. I don't know if that will be beaten in a very, very long time. But yeah, hopefully you have had fun this evening for the Six Nations quiz. And yeah, hopefully you will enjoy the Six Nations games tomorrow if you are a rugby fan. As you can see, I'm all ready to cheer along Wales for their Grand Slam quest, for our 5th Grand Slam since the Six Nations. But we'll see. We shall see. But for those of you who are not rugby fans, please remember that next week it is our night at the movies. Please dress up as a film character if you would like, and send in a picture, and we'll share as many of those as we can. So all movie themed in some way, shape or form. But of course there will be a few branching outs for you, for those of you who are not film buffs. So thank you all for your kind words there. If anyone wants the bonus round, just have a check out on YouTube and Facebook. I'll be live in just a few moments. But thank you very much for your kind words. Have a safe weekend, stay safe, and I'll see you next week for the Stay In Night at the Movies. Good night, Scuizzes. I shall speak to you again very soon.